Stungo an isidoichgat Rolandke. Um ya atotgida amatodichgat. Hijit apona hijalis. I'm how you doing, Roland? I'm taking a look at the work that you sent me. I'm gonna look at it and talk about what I see. It's easier than typing it all out. Um it looks like good work. Um Let me start at the top. Then I see you took the verbs and conjugated them, or with at least hompida, which is a good choice. I mentioned a moment ago, typing, that Creek and the whole Muskogean language family does this thing called, it uses this thing called suppletive verbs. That's to say that you will have a verb for the singular form that's totally different from the dual form, that's totally different from the plural form, which makes learning a little difficult for beginners, which is why I want to sort of focus on the singular. So I want to take a look at these verbs that you conjugated, and talk about what I see. Okay, mo ano. Adot kida, to work. Adot cash, I work. Adot kagos, I don't work. And hompida, actually, I'm seeing this is the first one, actually. Uh, Hompichkis, you eat. Adot kichkis, you work. Hompichkigos, you don't eat. Adot kichkigos, you don't work. Hompis, adutkis, hompigos, adutkigos, good. Hompis, I think you meant for that to be a flat line on top, because otherwise, with a little caret, with a little arrow, it looks like hompis. It looks like you're putting an accent on the short e instead of making it a long e. Hompis, adutkis, we eat, we work. Hompigos, adutkigos, we don't eat, we don't work. Perfect. Hompachkis, adutkachkis, hompachkigos, adutkachkigos, hiltondoschi. All right, so I see that this is true for, this is good for hompida and adotkida. Leigida has suppletive forms, so these last two would have to be modified. But also, they don't need to be modified. We're not even there. This is quite a bit ahead of where we are. I'm actually interested in seeing you really go all into Creek. The only thing is that since you're in the current, like in the Freeman class, since it's mostly monolingual English speakers who are learning a language for the first time, the paces are quite different, because I know you've studied other languages before. So if you like, I would be happy to, you know, have a separate time just sort of with you where you and I could practice or talk, or also there's a Discord for Creek that I'm on. If you are on Discord, which something tells me you might be, that's also a thing we could do to help you sort of realize your best inner Creek speaker, you know? But yes, with that, let me keep going. Oweda, always, owax. Oh, the thing I just did. Always, I am. Owax, that's a contraction of owagos. So I can say like owagodos, owagos, or owax. Owichkis, you are. Owichkigos, you are not. Also, owichkiks, contraction is possible. Owis, he, she, it is. Oegos, he, she, it is not. You can also say owix. There's also the irregular dogos, which means it is not, same thing. Just since I know you're into all that, I'm giving you a little sneak peek. Ois, oigos, you can say oweeks as well. Owachkis, owachkigos, you can also say owachkiks. Very good. I'll sort of spot check the remaining ones. Iskida, hiltondon, hijida, hiltondon, ayida. Ayida is a suppletive. Adida is a suppletive. Both of these have highly irregular plural forms. Um, we'll get there when we get there. Goida, to think or to want. Perfect. It's not suppletive. Excellent. Let me look at what you have here in the sentences. Having a little cafecito, you know. Nagin hopichkit. Ooh, okay. Nagin hopichkidi. Nagin hopichkidi. You're going to want to change the S at the end, because the S marks sort of like the end of a thought. We haven't really talked about that yet, but it marks the end of a thought. So if you want to connect a verb to another article, you're going to want to have a T there. So hompichkid, and then there's a T there, and then D, it will go afterwards. Nagin hompichkidi, what are you eating? Dagleg sap molki, momenta from buchi, you're going to want to have a U here in the uchi. Dafam buchi momento stagi chugo fan hombes. Okay. So fry bread and wild onions and eggs at home I'm eating. You have all the ingredients. We're gonna talk about how to format a sentence, but any Creek speaker, if you said this, with good pronunciation, would understand exactly what you're saying. Very good. Estimating again, you're gonna want a T at the end of here. Estimating D with a T here. D. US aid ofan guys. Helt don. Estimating legage git, and again, you're gonna want to make the S a T because you're connecting the you live with the question article, which is its own verb. So estimating legage gidi, Washington D.C. Legas. You're gonna want to have an I here as opposed to ligas, which said quickly sounds like litgas to run. So you're gonna want to have an I here. Nagin ishkitki, again the T. Kool-Aid iskas. That's cool. Here in Florida, we have a catch-all term for like any sort of fruity drink. We call it punji, obviously from the English punch. But like Kool-Aid is absolutely punji. You know what I'm saying? So Kool-Aid iskas. Oh, okay. You can also say punjin iskas, right? Actually, Kool-Aid powder, I've heard it referred to as esponchechka, the stuff that you make punji with. So you can Muskogeanize even Kool-Aid if you know how to do it. Nagin hijitski d, again a T. You're gonna want a T here. Ijoelgi, algi. You're gonna want to have a V here. Idoelgi ofan hijas. Okay. It might sound better to say idoelgi ofan ijoelgi hijas. In the woods I see the deer being the object of the verb is going to go after the subject and the place adverb, but you're good. For all intents and purposes, you're good. Estimain ayitskidi, again with a T. Adotkeda ayitskidi with a T. You're going to want to put a T in those two. Adotkeda ayes. Okay, perfect. This is a totally natural sentence. Adotkeda ayes. Ooh, Estormorphan. This is a Florida, old Floridian men like to say this. Stonewolf or Stonewolfan. So that's interesting that you found this. I want to talk to you about where you found it. Estormorphan with a V here. Aditskit with a D here. With a T, I'm sorry. Stonewolfan Aditski D. When do you come? I guess when are you coming, and the connotation is that it's soon. Nagan Kuichki D, and again you're gonna want to put a T here. Aji Humperagoes. This is so cute. Tijadi Hukti. Is Tijadi Hukti OS? Okay, good. We'll get into it later, but when you want to use Owida with a noun or with an adjective, you're gonna want to put a T here between the noun or adjective and the Owida. So istijadi hokti OS, good. You might hear a little more often istijadi hokti OS. Good. Ijo dear yagabeda to walk ohlaigeda to sit on nohlaigeda to cook. And yakabeda and ohlaigeda are both suppletives. So the plural forms are going to be one of them is going to be a little different. The other is going to be very different. We'll get to suppletives when we get there. But the form, which is really what I think what you want to focus on at your stage, is good. You get it, right? Notlajeda, not suppletive. It's the same all the way down. Perfect. Notlajeda, Notlajitskis, you want to have an E here, right? Notlajitskis, because you're doing the singular here, the singular here, singular here. So I know you probably meant Notlajitskis. Notlajitskigos also, right? Notlajis, Notlajigos, Notlajis, Notlajigos, Notlajatskis, Notlajatskigos, good. Ohonayeda, also not suppletive, so you're good. Ohonayes, Ohonayagos, Ohonayatskis, Ohonayatskigos, Ohonayes, Ohonayagos, Ohanaigos, Ohanayachkes. Perfect. Ido algi with a V. Ido algi o fanirabes. Perfect. I'm walking in the woods. Istamahischi. Amislitkida ido algi ofan ohlagas. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Again, a V here, but amislitkida, this we'll get to it later. But amislitkida works. Ido algi ofan in the woods. Ohlagas, I'm writing it in the woods. Perfect. Shufki momentrostagi nohlagis. Oh, so actually in Greek, the way that you spell the food that we call sofki, in English we write it like this, sofki, but in Greek you call it safki, or ozafki. Ozafki is a full word. So ozafki with this spelling, ozafki momentrostagi nohlagis. We are cooking sofki and eggs. Okay, sounds like a breakfast I'd want to be a part of. Chogat, nak choga hitko van ohonais. Okay, so we're gonna get into the T's and N's, but long story short, since you are a bit of a linguist, you know that there's a subject and an object in many sentences, and the T marks the subject. So what we have right here is chogat, book or paper, subject. Nak choga hitka ofan, in the book reading place, which could be a study or a library. Ohonais, we are reading it, right? Or actually, nak choga hitka is also what some people in like the baby boomers generation call school. So because if it's literally looking at books, that could be a study, that could be a library, that could be a school. Context in the world of istijari moponaba. So what we have here is book, subject, school, I'm going to guess. In school, we're reading. The book is reading a book at school, right? That's what the grammar sounds like. I know you mean that, nak choga hichka ofan, chogan ohonais, or nak choga hichka ofan, nak chogan ohonais. Everyone would understand what you mean. But since I know that you're a bit of a linguist and you like, linguists have their, sensibilities regarding grammar, I just want to let you know that the T here means that it's a subject. You would want to put an N here, and you would want to put nak choga after the location adverb. But I love this. If you would like, I would like to entertain, I would like to keep you invested at this level, maybe out in addition to the Friedman class, because we won't be here with the Friedman class for a while. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to post this and send it to you. And moin ya isijari mo ponaka akidijit ka madoje kay jahan madoje chikejaran jaji dondoan istina jo sigon ya isijari mo ponaka akidijit atlet fully donga nak idan mijit ayet kidonga mado chikejaran jaji dondon. You have an investment in the Greek language that I find special, and I want to say thank you for that, because there are not many who have this level of investment. So mado, and I mean it. I'll send this to you. Let me know what you think about everything I've told you, the grammar, and also other avenues of further potential education. And I'll see you around. Jihijali.